In our first video about speech sounds, we thought a little bit about how the sounds develop. However, regardless of any patterns or processes children are using, it's really important to ask this question too. This will help us to work out what might help. So while you watch this video, have a think about your own child. Can they make themselves understood most of the time? Do you have to interpret when they're talking to other people? And do they ever get frustrated if you don't understand? To start with, we're going to think about some things that might be helpful for children who can make themselves understood most of the time. First of all, keeping background noise as low as possible whenever you can. Children can find it much harder than adults to tune out any background noise, whether that's the telly, a radio, a tablet, or maybe just other people speaking in the room. That can make it harder for them to really listen to, hear, and to learn sounds. So think about turning the telly off if you can. Another useful strategy to support speech sound development is thinking about modelling. Saying back some of the things your child says, trying to focus on the words you want them to listen to.
My bike is blue and it has a basket.
Yes, your bike is blue and it has a basket. A blue bike with a basket.
Modelling gives children lots of opportunities to hear the words that they are interested in saying. It also is really helpful because it reassures them that you have understood what they're saying. For all children, creating lots of opportunities for talking, reading and singing together is really helpful. These activities will give your child lots of opportunities to talk and read with you, and this helps build their language generally, but also lets them listen carefully to the sounds you're saying and the words you're saying. Songs and rhymes are also helpful, as they encourage children to listen for the sound patterns and the rhythms, which are such a fun part of nursery rhymes. Another helpful strategy to support speech sound development is just to talk about everything that you're doing together.
You're crunching your apple. It's a big juicy apple.
Using lots of comments like this, rather than asking questions, gives your child lots of time to hear the things that they are talking about while the objects are actually there. Using lots of repetition when you can is also a good way to make sure your child hears the words said correctly lots of times. Using specific praise about communication is also really helpful. For example,
You asked that boy to join in at the park. That was really kind of you. You asked for your cake all by yourself in that shop today. That was really brave of you.
Giving praise like this helps your child to feel confident about their communication, even if they haven't quite developed all of their sounds yet. It lets them know that it's okay, and in fact really good, to have a go. Having thought about what would be useful to do to help your child, there are a few traps to watch out for, or things not to do. First of all, don't repeat the mistake. That means your child will hear it again.
But that no man has a diaper.
No, we say snowman, not no man. It's not Darth, it's a scarf.
As well as making your child hear the mistake again, doing this also devalues what they've said because it focuses on how it sounded rather than the message they wanted to tell you. A more helpful strategy is to give your child a chance to hear the word being said correctly.
But that no man has a diaper.
Yes, He does have a stripy scarf. It's a lovely stripy scarf.
Another trap to watch out for is asking your child to say it again.
Chocolate item, please.
Say chocolate. Ch, ch, chocolate. It starts with ch, not d. You try it. Chocolate.
Instead, you can again give your child a chance to hear the word being said correctly. It's sometimes helpful to think that if they could say the sounds, they definitely would.
Chocolate item, please.
Chocolate ice cream. Yum. I like chocolate too. Well done for saying please.
There are some extra things to think about if your child can't make themselves understood easily. All of the advice so far is still important, but there are some extra things you could try. Remember though that as children are developing their sounds, there may be times when it is harder to understand them, and that's often part of normal development. The first thing you can try is making sure that your child knows that you're really listening to them. Take time to stop what you're doing. Get face to face with your child and get down at their level if you can. These things can really make a difference to how much you understand because you're paying really close attention to what your child is saying. But it can also influence how much your child might try to say. You might hear more from them if they know that you're really listening to them. As parents and carers often understand their children best, you might find that you need to be a sensitive interpreter at times.
Tandawi Tom to bear with me today at a do.
You're wondering if Sally can come to our house to play after school today. Let's see what Sally's mum thinks.
You can support your child to be understood by others by repeating their message in your reply. Again, this lets your child know that you've understood what they've said, but it also helps other people to understand them. Even if you are well tuned into your child, sometimes you might need to support them to get their message across in another way. There's lots of ways to communicate, so have a think about other ways you could get the message over. For example, could you use a gesture to explain? Can your child show you what they're talking about? Or could you ask some extra questions to find out more?
Where can we find it? What colour is it? Can you tell me something else about it?
You can think about doing this yourself sometimes in order to show your child what to do. You could make a game out of describing things to give a little bit of extra practice with this. Sometimes, even though everyone is trying their best, children can become a bit frustrated. It's really important to acknowledge this frustration and to try and take some responsibility for what's happening. For example,
I'm sorry I can't hear all your words. You feel angry because I don't know what you want to tell me about.
Doing this can help your child to feel supported, and it might help to reduce some of the frustration and tension in the situation. If it's still feeling really tricky to understand and you've acknowledged this with your child, you might want to try and move on to something else. It can help to have an activity handy that you know that your child enjoys. That might help calm things down. It can give your child a little bit of extra thinking time as well, in case they can tell you any more information or tell you their message in a different way. It's a good idea to choose something that doesn't need your child to do lots of talking. When you're trying these strategies, it can take a little bit of time to see a difference. So we recommend trying them for around about 6 weeks to start with, as that can often help to support children's speech sound development. However, if you're still worried after that time, we recommend contacting your local speech and language therapy service for more advice. In the NHS Forth Valley area, our speech and language therapy helpline is available on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Have a look at the poster for more information. Therapists on our helpline are happy to discuss any concerns you might have and to share advice. You can also find more information online and on our social media channels. Keep an eye out for more information, resources and advice.